worked for the government department for 15 years in the welfare department.
So as a coloured person, you worked for the government welfare department?
Yeah, for 15 years, yeah. I started with helping on the streets with street people. We worked at Wynberg Night Shelter, and we were instrumental in getting the building for them from City Council and for starting Wynberg Night Shelter.
Keith, did you also work for the government as a coloured person?
Yes, unfortunately I did. I think, I had about a couple of years. Well, I studied firstly, and what I studied was social science. Then I ended up in a government department doing purely administration. Then I eventually ended up in the police force, even worse, so...
Even worse?
Well, being in that apartheid era, it was regarded as being terrible for me to have been in an environment like it, sort of being a traitor, but, well, to me it was all about job security, about supporting a family, not really doing it because I wanted to do it, but doing it mainly as a means to an end,
So I suppose you hadn't been really exposed to black people before you came to work?
No, not much, not at all. I suppose when I was in the police force, I was exposed to black people, but on a completely different basis,
Which was the basis?
Which was the basis of me as a policeman and you being black in the country, which means that you are obviously with the enemy, because you are black. That was what the conditioning was at the time.
People talk about racism. From the coloureds to the black.
Oh yes,
would you say that it's also...
It exists. It's still very prevalent today, even in our society today.
And what about you?
Well, you tend to have... I'll give you an example. In our situation, many times people would come and then you wouldn't give them soup. Then they'll say, yes, you just help the coloured people and the white people. You don't help the black people. Then the anger would make me inclined to feel I want to call you a name which is derogatory, you black or something like that. But then I read